So I wanted to say a little bit more about animating Metal Slug Attack units. First off, I thought I should elaborate a bit more on the maths involved in resizing the screenshots taken from the game. They need to be resized to match the scale of the original sprite sheets from which the units are formed. But most phones, tablets, what have you, use a decently high resolution which the game scales all its sprites up to match. For example, if I go onto the unit select screen, the build up display, we get icons for all the units, and if we drag a selection rectangle over the one shown in the screenshot, we can see that it's 169 pixels by 169 pixels. And because it's a scaled image, depending on mood of the game, it's not always going to be that exact size. This icon a little lower down is 168 by 168, so a pixel smaller. The original size of the icons is an exact 50 pixels square. So in order to get this particular screenshot to show at the original scale, we would need to resize it so that these icons go from 169 pixels-ish down to exactly 50. So to get the percentage, it's a simple calculation. We want to know what percentage of 169 50 is. So 50 divided by 169, 0.295 blah 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 blah. And if we simply multiply that by the width of the image, in this case my screenshot is 1920 by 1080, 1920, then we can see that the width of the image should be 568 pixels if we want the icons to show up as 50 pixels square. So let's say we do that resize and go down to 568. And you can see that the result is a bit of a blurry mess. The reason for that, as I said before, not all the icons are showing up at the exact same size in the original screenshot. You see the soldier's looking a little bit better than the white baby up above, just a little. So let's say we undo that resize and just sort of play around until we get the exact right value, which you already know is 569. For a screenshot of the size 1920 by 1080, just by moving the pixels up and down a little bit until you get the exact right size. You can see all the images are nice and sharp, and the icons are now an exact 50 pixels like the original. When you figure out this value, you can then resize any screenshot to the same size. And that makes it dramatically easier to position the sprites from the original sprite sheets over the screenshots, and therefore build animations out of them. In this case, of course, I'm going to build an animation of the Iron Nakana MK2. It's a little bit of an interesting unit in that most of the time it shows up as this green sort of tank thing, unless it's attacking or blowing up or what have you, in which case it takes on a silver paint job with a little red burst on the side. Why SNK have done this, I don't know. They did it in Metal Slug Defense as well. Though it doesn't use the exact same sprite sheet in the earlier game, so they've clearly rebuilt it for Metal Slug Attack to do the exact same thing, show up as green or silver. I don't know why. Anywho, I've already taken the screenshots out of a short screen recording. The Nakana MK2, its idle animation consists of an exact 2 frames. That sounds simple. The difference here is that the tank is made up of multiple parts, unlike the Mummy Warrior I did earlier. We've got the wheel section separate to the body section. We've also got a separate little turret sticking out the top and a missile launcher on top of that. First thing you probably notice is that the size to 569, the logo on the size of the Nakana is the wrong way round, as the boss was originally drawn facing to the left, so we'll want to mirror our image to make it match the original sprite sheets. There we go. Okay, so let's hide some layers and start stacking in some parts. We'll select the main body first, seems obvious enough. Control C to copy, Control V to paste. And can we line that up over the check? I'm not sure if we can or not. Yep, that's the correct body. I'm actually going to hide that bit of body for now and add in some more layers. We want to put the wheels to display on top of the body, so we go back in and grab a likely looking wheel sprite. No. Paste it into the new layer, and if that's the right sprite, then it should. No, it's not the right sprite. It doesn't line up at all. What if I move that layer up the list a bit and compare it to the second frame of the animation? You can see that it fits there perfectly. So I'm just going to leave it there for now. I'll hide it and make another layer. Go back and find a second set of wheels. This one probably. There's a little bit of trial and error involved, but generally the sprites that are used first in a given animation live up in the top left of the sheet. So you can sort of guess the order a little bit if it isn't obvious to the eye. That's not the right one either. It's pretty good match, but the wheels are obviously wrong. So I'll select that layer and delete the tires. The tires on the other screenshot looking. Yeah. I've offset them somehow. Control A to select all. Make sure I've got the right layer selected. Move 1 pixel to the right. That's better. Control D to deselect. Stop myself from accidentally moving things around. Okay, so we'll hide that layer too. So the wheels I want are aligned in a perfect cross. So very likely these ones here. Go selection rectangle and paste in. There we go. That's a match. So now we've got a body and the wheels for this frame. We need a gun turret up the top. So we'll make another new layer. Go back to our sprite sheet source, move the toolbox out of the road. Grab the first cannon there on the basis that that's probably going to be it. No. Control C to copy, Control V to paste, and drop it over the. Yes, that works well. And we need a missile launcher on top, so one more layer. Go back in and grab us a missile launcher. Copy and paste. Yep, that's right, but clearly the missile launcher needs to go under the body of the tank, so we move the layer down the list. Okay, that's good. If we select the first of the 4 layers that we've created, we can merge down, merge down, merge down. If I toggle the resulting sprite, oops, we can see that it's constructed massive sprites which match the frame precisely, except in colour to a slight degree. The screenshots don't come out perfectly. Right, so now we need to construct the rest of the second frame. Reasonably good bet that this is the second body. Copy and paste. Make the layer visible so I can actually see what I've pasted. And oops, 1 pixel down. Is it a proper match? It is. Good. So we need a frame for the missile launcher on the roof, which is probably going to be the second one here. Copy and paste. That's a good match. And that just leaves the turret, which I guess is going to be this one here. Copy and just hide the other frames so that I can see the screenshot down the bottom. So this turret is obviously much too large, it's not the right one. Go back and it might even just be the original turret that was used in the other frame, so let's try that. If I can ever drag a selection rectangle over it, yeah, there we go, and paste, drag, drop. Yeah, it's a pretty good match. Okay, so 4 frames. We've got the missile launcher on top, we've got the body on top of that, we've got the wheels on top of that, and we've got the turret on top of everything. Merge, merge, merge. And if we toggle the final sprite, you can see that it matches the screenshot underneath. So we can delete the screenshot layers, drag a rectangle over everything in the image with all layers visible. I might actually just crop that image to the selection. Bang. So now we've got 2 separate sprites. 1, 2. copy, and if we go to Animation Shop and paste, we'll insert 2 empty frames and edit, copy, merge to get the image and the layer behind it. Control E to paste into that frame. Switch layers, copy, merged, Control E to paste into the frame. Delete the final frame, view animation, and there's an on the corner. Chug, chug, chug. Compare it to the source animation. It seems to be chugging away at the exact same speed. If we did want to change the speed of the animation, we use Control A to select the frames and then right click to access frame properties. We can change the display time. This will generally be something between 20 to 5. It does vary quite widely depending on the unit you're animating, but by comparing to the video you can just change all the frames and then play the video that you recorded originally to see how it compares, and it will be pretty obvious whether or not the loop is taking the same amount of time to complete as it does in the game. Anyway, animation replace color, will replace green with transparent opacity. Bang, it's now a transparent image. And we're done. So yeah.